Madam Poonam Jamwal, Ayushman ji, Monica Madam, the head of the Department of English, Sucheta Madam, who is like a sister to me, the former head of the Department of English, Garima, Ravinder, Sadaf, Sharma ji, all the colleagues, the scholars of the department and the students of the Department of English. I am from the deepest core of my heart thanking Monica for inviting me on this academic feast this afternoon. Monica, thank you very much for making me a part of this gathering and this discourse, which I would really would have missed. I don't know if Madam Poonam Jamwal remembers, a year before, when I was the registrar of the university, and the Kunwar Viyogi Foundation was to get a place in our system. We were together. We had all the support of our former Vice Chancellor, Professor R.D. Sharma, on this. And I know how small little queries were coming from the highest quarters with regard to, rightly so, if there weren't any ostentations in this particular foundation. Why? Because the highest quarters and the university, there were genuine reasons in the past when certain foundations and certain forums, they did not do justice to the academic content with which they should have been studied with. Governor N.N. Vora was a very intelligent and a very sharp person. And I remember when I was putting up the agenda there in the Central Council, because the registrar of the university puts up the agenda, he was very sharp to see and look at my face and understand that I was taking up an issue which was very genuine and had no academic ostentations, and it was academics in the genuine sense of the term, and therefore it took him just a couple of minutes to say yes to the proposal, and here we are actually seeing it on ground in the University of Jammu. Besides this foundation where I see a lot of exuberance, I've seen almost something similar in Mrs. Jatley, Mrs. Arun Jatley, Dolly, who is into the Girdhari Lal Dogra Foundation, and she held a function at the Zorawar Singh auditorium. That point of time, I was the registrar again, and the Prime Minister, he came because of Jatley Sahab, or because Jatley Sahab also came. Jatley Sahab, Mrs. Jatley's father, is a father-in-law of Shri Arun Jatley ji, so it was a family affair. And I saw a very genuine, involvement of the family into whatever they were doing. Poonam Madam, from what I see, where I am placed, you are doing a commendable job, and may God bless you. This is what I'm saying. All languages are respected. Be that Tamil, or be that Hindi or Dogri or English. I find some petty minds playing with all this. And some petty minds schematically are attacking Dogri language and the Dogri and the Dogra heritage. Dogras are basically warriors. And if Zorawar Singh started from Bahu, so if he went to Gilgit, he had the brawn and he also had the brain. And we too have the brain. Let's understand that. And they must also understand that, I'm sorry, but we also have the brawn if required. So, I'm an academician, a free citizen of a free nation, more especially when you are in the university. If you can become an MLA or if you can become an MP. So, me saying anything should be no hesitation at all. But once we find manipulations of the type as that we, in educational terms, establish a cluster university in Kashmir and a cluster university in Jammu, I understand what is the intention behind. The intention behind is that there should not be a name by the name Rajput College. It will not be. There will be no SP College in Srinagar. There will be no Amar Singh College in Srinagar. There will be no GGM Science College in Jammu. If I understand the meaning of the cluster university, I think I am understanding it right. Why? Because if you get money in RUSA from the central government, or if you have money at your disposal in excess, that doesn't mean that you start consuming heroin because you have a lot of money with you. So, matter of concern, matter of my thinking, I share it with you. I wish I am proved wrong, but you cannot change the name of Bahu Fort, and you cannot change the names of the places here. All such foundations, they got to take care of this. Why? Because heritage, whatever and whosoever, is to be respected anywhere and everywhere. The Department of English, the talent that I saw in the students, the sonnets that you just read out here, the guys who were here on the dais, Ashmita's poem, and that volunteer, and what Sadhup was doing with Anshuman, I once again am, delighted, very happy to be, a part of it. It was real good. I have been from the Sainik school. My association with Samba is that I have a house in Samba. My association with Samba is that my ancestral house is at Troke di Chapdi in Samba. And my association with the Rajputs of Samba is that my grandmother, she used to go to the mandis, and the Rajputs, they used to, because I am a Brahmin, so the Rajputs used to do their bit in giving my grandmother that atta and rice and whatever, and that used to be, that a very proud moment for the families on that side and families this side. And that used to make Samba very pluralistic, and that's the beauty of that place. And the best of the warriors, those have come from that region. The Jamwals and Hiranagar and Samba, and not that Akhnur is not included in that, so my association with Samba. I was born in Fatujugan. My second association, my friends Nirmal Jamwal and Mugdeshwar Jamwal, and they all are guys from Sainik School, and Nirmal was calling me yesterday. He said, you got to be present in Dogri. I said, I cannot be present at two places. Why? Because I will be present in English. Therefore, I cannot be in Dogri. And two places I cannot be. So, my point is that, this is all, an affair where you have all the affinity and, so much of bondage and so much of affinity. So, that makes it, more special for me. So, my message to the students and the scholars here is that from what you saw today, see, this is silent sun, and this is the river Sage, and sonnets and poems, Anshuman and Kunwar Viyogi Sahib, who was a Indian Defence Forces personnel. I am really amazed. How could he do such a 600 sonnets? Yeah, somebody can write. It is astonishing, amazing, awesome. So, my message to you guys is that don't get into this Google thing all the time. Don't do this cut and paste. I have been a student of English literature in my BCom. When I passed out from the Sainik school, so we didn't know, much of Hindi and all. So it was a choice between hardcore Hindi and English literature. So we had no choice but to go in for English literature, because you were to exercise your option between the two subjects. So I was very inclined towards John Keats, and those heard melodies are sweet and those unheard are sweeter, and that's all you know on earth and all you need to know, and if truth is beauty, beauty, truth, and all those things, And as Anshuman was saying, Ulysses and Lotus Eaters and Tennyson and Far from the Madding Crowd, The Tale of Two Cities, and all those things, I did as a student of English literature. And friends, just for Anshuman has done a great job, and he's inspired me. And these days, as far as this subject of English and English literature is concerned, I'm very fascinated towards Netflix these days. And I have watched a number of serials there, and some of them having even more than 90 episodes. And I have seen Narcos. I have seen Marco Polo. I have seen Breaking Bad. That chemistry teacher who is, math. And I've watched Vikings. Scandinavian people going to England and France and trying to capture that, and beautiful. And Frontier. And I've watched The Last Kingdom and the Roman Empire and Mad Men, about 93 episodes. And these days I am watching The Crown.
Wow.
I will.
You make them put on your
Absolutely. And King George is now passing on the reins. How systematically, and see the beauty of that, that democracy and the beauty of that Buckingham Palace, and slowly, things are getting passed on, because King George has got cancer and is passing the entire empire now to Queen Elizabeth. And now how this actually moves on, and with Winston Churchill being there, so it's all. So my point is that please study hard, watch all these things. You should be very exhaustive in whatever you do. Let you know a little, but let you know it fully. So God bless once again. You can always keep on saying certain things here and there. So I conclude by saying that English department is one of the real prestigious department of this university. I know some 40 years ago, 35 years ago, Bhakri Sahab used to be here, Prasad Sahab used to be here, Dushant Sahab used to be here, and it was real good department. It still is, and that it has to pass on from one group of students, from batch of students to the other, and you have the best of teachers even today. So I am very confident that this department is going to still further progress academically and keep its pristine glory as it has been even now. And my many thanks to Poonam Madam and Anshuman. It was a pleasure having you here, Poonam Madam. A real pleasure having you here, ma'am. If I can know your name.
Rashmi. I'm Rashmi.
Rashmi. And Rashmi ma'am, she's here, and a big round of applause for her. She is so patiently hearing all of us. And may these academic ventures continue in future. And I tell you, these are very enriching academically. And may this journey and odyssey, this academic odyssey, continue, and it helps both the foundation and the Jammu University, and that we always, hold each other's hands to proceed ahead, move ahead. God bless you. Be happy. Thank you very much.